Hi, welcome to session 4 of Before You Give Up on Learning English. This is the final part in the series, and in this section I'm going to be talking to you about Toastmasters. But I'm not going to be telling you about Toastmasters. I want to share with you the experiences I had as a Toastmaster before I became an English teacher. And the lessons I learned are really important and useful for you before you give up on learning English, because there are a lot of lessons I learned from Toastmasters about how to be a better English learner. And actually I use a lot of these ideas and principles when I develop materials and classes for my students. First and foremost, the most important thing I learned in Toastmasters is self-mastery. And I think this is a very important thing for people to learn. And self-mastery means taking control of your own learning, to be more active in your learning and less passive. You know, online learning is a great thing, but it's what you do offline. It's what you're doing when you're not on YouTube. That's more important. So many people, they spend hours on YouTube and that's all they do. But more important, it's what you do offline. So for example, in Toastmasters, we have a meeting every 2 weeks. And you think, wow, that's not very much. But it's a lot of things are happening between the two sessions. People are at home writing their projects, preparing their speeches. So that's where the real learning actually takes place. The other thing in Toastmasters is we learn without a classroom teacher. Everybody teaches each other. That's a very important thing, but it's really part of self-mastery because we are actually learning by ourselves with other people. Another very important aspect, because a lot of the learning is self-directed and self-learning, we learn to follow instructions and we learn how to follow them precisely. Again, very important if you want to become a great learner, is to learn how to read and follow instructions. All the projects in the Toastmaster manual, I think, use a method which I like to call combination learning. So in other words, when you join Toastmasters, you're learning how to speak in public. So people think, oh, I'm learning speaking. But you know, you have to prepare your speech. You have to outline it, you have to write it, you have to practice it, and then you can speak at the club. So you've combined many skills in one project. And that's really time efficient. So I think that's something to really remember when you're trying to master English fluency. Try to combine the skills into a single exercise, and you will learn much more. Another element in Toastmasters is we have a fun and supportive atmosphere, a fun and supportive environment. So you're not learning alone. You're learning with other people who have the same wants, the same desires, and the same needs that you do. And because of that, it's like a community. We're all learning together. And finally, in the Toastmasters system, we have a system of mentorship. And the mentorship is really important to support you through in the basic first 3 projects. So you take steps slowly, but with assistance from someone who's more experienced. And that experience is really helpful to you. Also, your mentor kind of acts as your guide. So when you don't feel like doing something, the mentor is there to tell you, hey, you really got to do this. And that little push sometimes is all you need to get going and really improve. Here are some practical ways you can take the lessons that I've been talking about and use them to improve your English fluency and to improve your English skills. These are lessons from Toastmasters. Without becoming a Toastmaster, you can still learn from Toastmasters. And here's what I learned from Toastmasters, lessons that you can apply starting right now. Self-directed learning. This is probably the most important lesson. Instead of waiting for the right class or the right teacher or the right time, you can actually choose when you want to learn and how you learn. Self-directed learning means taking control of your own learning, becoming an active instead of a passive learner. So you become active in your learning, not passive. So it's also important to remember, it's not what you learn online, it's what you do offline. There's so much stuff available online on YouTube and other places, it's hard to really keep up. And if you just keep watching the videos, but you don't do anything between videos, you really won't see much improvement. So don't just watch YouTube videos passively, do some activities actively between videos. So practice what the instructor tells you. Don't just say, oh, that's a nice idea. I'll do that when I think about, when I have time. Actually, you need to do it as soon as you can. When you get the advice and you think it's going to work, do it. What you do offline is much more important than what you watch online. Watching a YouTube video is passive. Active learning is what will really help you improve. Learn without a teacher. Because you are your own teacher, you can set your own pace. You can choose when to learn, what to learn. You can choose even how to learn. But there is one drawback. You need to set a timetable so you do learn. Because it's so easy to say, well, I can do this whenever I like. That time never comes. So you have to make a schedule. You have to make a timetable of when you want to learn. And again, this is also self-directed learning. Follow the instructions. Again, this is similar to because you're your own teacher, you need to follow the instructions. We have picked up many bad habits from our English learning in school, including things like when we go to a pronunciation class, we don't just practice the pronunciation, we start looking up the words in the dictionary because we want to know what the words mean. But it's not a vocabulary lesson. You need to focus on the pronunciation, which is what you're trying to learn. So focus your energy sometimes on the material that you're given. If it's vocabulary, focus on vocabulary. If it's pronunciation, focus on pronunciation. Hey, how observant are you? What's the wrong spelling on this slide? Find or create activities that will improve multiple skills. Now, this seems contradictory to what I just said, which is concentrate and focus. But there are exercises that will allow you to learn multiple skills at the same time. Shadowing technique is one example, and you can see my YouTube video on the shadowing technique. So go look for the YouTube video I produced just about 2 weeks ago on the shadowing technique. The shadowing technique improves your vocabulary, your listening, your pronunciation, and fluency all at once. So this is a very efficient way to learn. Find learning buddies. By that I don't mean finding someone to practice your speaking with. Very often that's not a good idea, because if the person you're speaking with is at a much higher level, they will get bored very easily. And if all you speak to people about is, I want to practice my English, it's not really a conversation. It's not sharing. You're really asking the person to teach you, and not everybody is your English teacher. To encourage you to keep going when you feel like giving up, that's what a learning buddy should do. And the learning buddy will gently push you to keep going. So these are some very valuable lessons that I learned from Toastmasters that everyone can use to improve their English ability, your English speaking, and your English fluency. So there you have it. Those are tips that I learned from Toastmasters for other people who are even not Toastmasters. In the next video, I'm going to share my experience of Toastmasters. So for those of you that are thinking about Toastmasters or have never heard about what Toastmasters is, the next video is going to be Toastmasters, what is Toastmasters, and how you can benefit from the Toastmasters program. Toastmasters is available in 135 different countries. But for now, this is the end of this series. Before you give up on learning English forever, I hope that these 4 videos have encouraged you to keep going and find new and better ways to learn English. Until next time, bye for now.